What's a conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe in? I'll go first. I 100% believe that there is a cure to every major disease, cancer, diabetes, everything. But the more people that die, the more money that companies can make.
I believe that Charles Lindbergh himself is responsible for the kidnapping of his own baby in 1932. Now, Lindbergh was not the hero that history has made him out to be. He was a literal Nazi. He was the face of the eugenics movement. Something we didn't know about him until 2000 was that he procreated with German women and had 7 secret children as part of the eugenics movement's attempt to create the perfect child. And Charles Lindbergh Jr. wasn't perfect. He was born disabled, and it was really easy to hide when he was a baby, but as he was getting older and he wasn't walking and wasn't talking and wasn't hitting his milestones and doing the things he should be doing, it became obvious that something was wrong. There are those who believe that Charles Lindbergh had the baby kidnapped and was attempting to have him institutionalized to hide the fact that he was disabled, which would also mean that Charles was not the perfect specimen, like for part 2. Part 2. So, the theory is Charles Lindbergh is a Nazi and he is supposed to be the perfect male specimen, and he can't have people knowing that he's got a disabled son. So he made a plan to have baby Lindbergh kidnapped from the home. He was going to have him whisked away to some institution somewhere, raised anonymously, so that no one would ever find out that he had a disabled child, thus meaning that he was not, in fact, the perfect man. Something obviously went wrong. There was that broken rung on the ladder. So there are 2 theories. One is that, something went wrong when they were kidnapping the baby and he died accidentally, and then it had to be covered up as a kidnapping/murder. The other theory is that he actually did get his baby away and institutionalized, and that the body that was found months later that was unidentifiable, but Charles identified anyway, wasn't actually the Lindbergh baby. What do you think?
Okay, hear me out. It sounds weird. Mattress Firm is laundering money or doing something super, super sketchy. Mattress Firm likes to cluster their stores together. Just look. This is in my hometown. These are not even a minute apart from each other. There's 3 of them on the same road. Same city, same thing. And here, example again. Outside of my city, this is in Texas, there are 10 on the same road. I don't know how spread out these are, but 10. I've never been in a Mattress Firm my entire life. There can't be that much of a need for mattresses. The weird thing too, and you'll just have to take my word on this, when you drive past a Mattress Firm, there's never cars in the parking lot. And if there is, there's like maybe one. The Mattress Firm website says there's 2,500 stores across America and about 8,500 employees. That means there should be at least 3 people working a store. On top of that, they've disclosed accounting irregularities. Oh my god, I could talk about this all day.
Actually, I'll go first. And what I will say is that you can't convince me that last year it wasn't the police officers, the government, either setting off those fireworks every single fucking day for like 3 months, or supplying teenagers with the fireworks for the low price of $0 so they could set them off every single day for almost 3 months. I literally did not sleep. From the end of June to the beginning of August, there were fireworks every single night in my neighborhood. And they started at 7 when the sun was still out, and they would go until fucking 9 p.m. You want me to believe teenagers have that money on their own, and that's what they would choose to do? No. They was trying to break me, and they almost did, because there was racial unrest. I wanted to quit my job, and I couldn't sleep. They almost got me.
I don't know if this is exactly a conspiracy theory per se, but I am 1,000% convinced that we are not supposed to eat corn. Cows have 4 stomachs. They can't digest corn. You go to Chipotle, you get corn salsa. You go to the bathroom, you see corn salsa. High fructose corn syrup is processed and put in pretty much everything to make it highly sugary and highly addictive. Any animal that you give corn to, they go crazy for it and become addicted to it. Corn can be processed into a fuel, and it burns pretty efficiently. Yet we eat it. And I still don't know why.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe in? I'll go first.
That Area 51 isn't where we think it is. It's actually a little bit closer to home. So I believe we are Area 51. And that military base in the middle of the desert that no one can go, the one where you can get shot on sight, is the exit. Why do you think they can shoot you on sight? Because they don't want us to leave.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe in?
This is probably going to get taken down, so let me get right to it. I'm not just coming right out and saying that the military puts batteries inside of birds. All I'm saying is that if they did, this is probably where they would keep their stockpile, and due to the recent budget cuts, this is how many batteries are left. There's about to be no more birds, guys, and I anticipate the media is going to cover it up by saying climate change is the result. I think I fucked up with the birds, guys. I'm shaking just thinking about this. So as I pulled up to my duty station today, guys, the birds were going off the hook, and as soon as I got out of my car, they stopped. I debunked that as just a case of what the fuck, but then I had to go back out to my car to get something else, and the same shit happened as I walked out of the building. I'm not easily shaken, but this shit's got my nerves racked. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You hear him? Yeah, I think I fucked up.
The High School Musical trilogy takes place in a not-too-distant dystopian future where the Southwest is no longer part of the United States. Let me explain. Now, this is a continuation of the theory that High School Musical takes place in the same cinematic universe as The Purge, given that there seems to be no social contract or subsequent legal system present throughout the three movies. But there's one very popular song in the second movie that doesn't just provide additional evidence to that one theory, but paints a really great picture of what the United States actually looks like at the time the series takes place. In the song Fabulous, Sharpay initially sings that she wants 4 very specific items. Iced tea imported from England, lifeguards imported from Spain, towels imported from Turkey, and turkey imported from Maine. If we're following standard definitions of US trade and agriculture, in order for any item to be imported, as it would be from England, Spain, or Turkey, it has to come in from another country. And given the fact that High School Musical takes place in the metropolitan area of Albuquerque, New Mexico, it is hypothetically impossible for turkey to be imported there from Maine, given that Maine is another state of the Union. Because of Sharpay's implication that turkey could somehow be imported from Maine to New Mexico, you can easily make the argument that High School Musical takes place in a not-too-distant future or an alternate timeline where a second civil war has resulted in New Mexico, and potentially other states in the Southwest, seceding from the Union. This theory would explain the turkey trading paradox, the lack of any kind of legal system, which is best exhibited by the labor conditions at Lava Springs and the fact that Darbus pretty much committed forgery to get trained at Juilliard, and the fact that the majority of the characters are white and English speaking, but never seen celebrating the 4th of July. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Also, Sharpay did nothing wrong.
The reason why women's fashion have little to no pockets in their clothing is due to the fact that the fashion industry would lose money from bag and purse sales.
This whole entire time, they have been selling us butter. Now, doubtless you're familiar with this brand. I can't believe it's not butter. Bullshit. It is butter. And here's how we know. I can't believe it's not butter. Take the first letter of the first 5 words of that phrase, ich bin, and then the last word, butter. You get ich bin butter. And you know what you get when you translate that from German?
This one's a tough one. I don't know if people are going to believe me when I say this. It's a tough pill to swallow. But I believe that 80% of the world are absolute idiots. Now, there's proof if you guys want to look it up. Just go on social media and go through TikTok and Instagram and you'll see that most people are just dumb. That's the one I believe in.
I think that the reason that the minimum wage hasn't increased in decades is because the corporate elite and politicians are trying to see just how close to slavery you all get before you all tap out. and also in the process helping you accrue so many debts, so that when they offer you something like indentured servitude contracts, you'll take them as a way of erasing your debts.
That the reason we still don't have universal health care in the US is because they know that the second we all have access to health care, there will be a massive divorce movement and a massive quitting of shitty jobs.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe in?
Religion was invented to control human beings and especially women.